So, forward, backwards. Okay. Technology. Thank you for that introduction. You have a good memory. So, the topic is actually access to markets for women-led agribusiness contributing to food security. And I'll just tell you a little bit about what African Women Agribusiness Network is about and go from there. So AWAN is a not-for-profit company. It's a business membership organization. And we were formed in 2003, primarily for export. So we're looking at women agribusinesses to export to mostly the AGOA market. So that's how we started. But we quickly realized that we needed quantities and a lot of it to be able to access that market. So looking even at the value chain, we were not prepared for that market. So our secretariat is based in Nairobi, and we have membership in Eastern Africa primarily, and we have champions in West Africa, Southern Africa, and Central Africa. And we work through agribusiness clubs and through champions. I think the more we think about how sometimes we are we navel gaze in East Africa and we think we are very big. But when you look around the continent, women are doing amazing things, women and youth. We have a lady in Namibia, under 30, doing oyster farming, another one making cheese, another one doing cottage industry, making jams. So women from Senegal, Namibia, East Africa, I'm very hopeful about the 400 plus members we already have who are established agribusinesses, but more the AWAN under 30 that are coming up to lower that bar on the 62-year-old average that we have. So excited about the 19-year-olds coming into the agribusiness space, because I think they come with a lot of ideas, and agritech is going to change that. So AWAN's pillars, we have 4 pillars: women economic inclusion, trade, market linkages, and agritech. Agritech is important to us because that's where we catch all the youth, the 30 and under, because it makes they're more interested not in the headscarves and I think that's the image we have of the woman. She has a headscarf, she has a kitambaa, gumboots, and a hoe. And that is not who we want to see the future of Africa as. There is mechanization. There is my friend, is it Nyaboke? The gentleman sitting next to me, he says, when we were introducing ourselves, he said he wants to be a drone because he sees the future of agriculture that way. He made sure I remembered that. So AWAN's value proposition is knowledge and targeted advocacy. If we are going to get where we are, the people with knowledge in agriculture, in agribusiness, are really the ones who are going to make the change. Those who are not knowledgeable or who don't have information on markets, I think they get left out. So we want to make sure that we bring all the women with us by providing knowledge space and a knowledge platform. So AWAN is moving towards innovative technologies in data collection, in analysis and experiences. You see, I think a lot of decisions that we sometimes make are too emotional, and we look on the other side of the fence and we see what is our neighbor doing and begin to copy that. And that is not where we need to be. We're collecting a lot of data to see what are the problems that actually women have, what are the quantities that they're producing, where are they, and how can we collaborate? What is the market asking for? And make, as we trade, this is the information that we're going to use on the commodities, on the quantities. So when somebody is looking at the marketplace, they know there's a woman in Uganda growing hibiscus, there's another one in Zimbabwe asking for this, and just making sure that we connect to them because we understand the quantities that they are producing. So we provide information and support for our members by advising on policies, strategies, and improving their competitiveness in the food value chains. I think one of the things that we understand from UNEP report is the Horn of Africa in general is very prone to natural disasters in terms of extreme food shortages. So I think we're in the right place when we begin to produce sufficient food. And it means that we have to collaborate in terms of selling, in terms of knowing what information, who's where. I'm sorry, I didn't move that. who's doing what where, and making sure that when we talk about food or grains are needed in a certain place, being informed enough to make sure the logistics and other things follow where we are going. So one of the projects, so we got together with a couple of other partners. There was Inclusive Business Sweden. We got together with Pool Farm and AgriPro Focus. And the idea behind this was to find out how can farmers access markets, to get access to formal markets through collaboration. As much as AWAN works primarily with registered businesses, formalized businesses, we recognize that many of our art growers and producers may not be formalized. And I think IBS also works with smallholder farmers. So it's important to learn what does the market look like and what does it demand. The market demands that we have quantity, quality, and consistency. And we don't always meet that as smallholder farmers or as one person because the market is huge. So, and the buyers would really like to buy directly from farmers if they could be assured that if I need my 20 kilos or more of strawberries, they would be delivered because I have to produce those, whatever it is I'm producing as a hotel. So that uncertainty in the market doesn't like that uncertainty. So it's important that even as we think, who is this buyer and how do they want the produce brought to them, that we also understand who are the farmers, who are the producers, what are their challenges? If the market is a challenge, can they work together in a certain way that they can meet the buyer's demands? So AWAN does work with formalized businesses and try to graduate the small to medium and medium to large and draw capacity and information about those markets with the large, rapid growing population and economic growth on one side, and on the supply side, we understand there's smaller farms that they are working with. Water and land resources are maybe a challenge. And also the crop varieties, because if you're going to market and you're giving a variety that the market is not demanding for, then there is a mismatch there. So I went through its agribusiness clubs and tries and mobilizes both the outgrowers and the small-scale farmers to mobilize to reach that market. But the other thing that we have noticed through this project is there is a need from the buyer side to also know what are the farmers really producing. And knowing what our members are producing, we're able to negotiate better terms of delivery and point our farmers where they need to go. I think there's a video on work with IBS, if somebody could prompt that. Oh, is it you? Yeah, you can put it at this point. So there's a video that we're going to run on the collaborative selling project that we did with Inclusive Business Sweden, AgriPro Focus, and Pool Farm. And we went from thinking that we would be servicing households, and we figured that would be a very challenging aspect. So we went back to look at who are the people, how can we scale this up? And we thought of institutions, schools, and the bigger institutions. That would make more sense. So you're not, because the logistics of managing individual baskets to communities would have been harder to put together. Are you ready to go with that? Okay. Or should I continue talking? So I can just talk about the collaborative selling model if you're not ready. Okay, no problem. So really, it was a pilot project to see how the work could use a digital app that would be prepared to link the farmers to market. What AWAN has is creating an e-hub. For us, our platform really would serve somebody who's in the rural areas, but part of our farmers to see how can they get information and to market. Should I? You're good?
Many hardworking smallholder women farmers in Kenya have difficulty accessing markets.
Does that count to my time? Sorry about that.
Many hardworking smallholder women farmers in Kenya have difficulty accessing markets. Limited market information and the resources to distribute their produce effectively is a challenge. The majority of the farmers who we interviewed were interested in accessing formal markets or large buyers of produce.
To me, the small farmer is the one who add up. That's small, and then we reach to the people. You actually sell at a loss, whereby you're working so hard, but then at the end of the day, you find the small farmer is not doing anything. I would put it this way: if that small farmer actually get a link to the person who will sell, I produce, you come direct to me and buy it. That small farmer will work even twice harder to see that they have achieved and they are going to produce. It's only that there is nobody who is ready to show them the way.
Oh dear.
Yet again I say, that small farmer, if you can get a...
Oh dear. Should we?
direct market, I'm sure they will be very happy. The small farmer, at the end of the day, would like to take something home. And if it's worthy, it's something good.
Oh dear.
There's nobody who would not want that togetherness of farming together and selling the things together.
African Women Agribusiness Network is a not-for-profit business member organization. And at AWAN, we are always looking for ways to increase access to markets for our members. With this SIANI project, we've been looking for ways that our members can access formal markets easier, especially for women producers or agripreneurs who are seeking to collaborate with others to meet large orders. We have developed a model for women's cooperatives to offer a collaborative selling service to their farmers. Farmers can create a profile where they upload produce they have available for sale. Large buyers will be able to see produce available for sale and place orders on a platform. The cooperative owns and manages the platform where consolidation of produce from farmers is made. The cooperative then manages the quality checking, branding, distribution, and sale of produce. Many forms of collaborative marketing already exist in Kenya, particularly for cash crops and dairy, but it's very difficult to make it work for perishable and other types of produce. One of the reasons this is the case is that it's difficult to find a financially sustainable way to run it. So what we have done is we have developed a business model guide for farmers groups and cooperatives to explore ways of offering collaborative selling for their members. For more information, please visit SIANI's website.
Okay, great. So one of the things that we have understood, just to conclude, that women produce, process, and put more than 70% of what we're eating on the table. We make the decisions on what is served. So being part of the conversation is very important, and also thinking of the youth in agribusiness and how to bring them on board. And for AWAN, it means creating really strong business connections, both both with the outgrowers, processing and packaging in a strong way, and meeting what the market demands. We have to be producing what the market demands, not just producing, making it a hobby, or because farming is serious business and producing food is serious business, and we're glad to be in that business. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.